Hello all, welcome back to my channel TechSense. In today's video, we will understand about functions. What are functions? What are the benefits of using functions? Also, we will understand what are the drawbacks, what are the limitations, and how we can create the functions in Azure portal. How we can monitor them, how we can create the logs for it. So let's start. First of all, we need to understand what is functions. It's a serverless application platform. It gives us platform for us to just build your code and deploy in the cloud. It allows developer to host business logic that can be executed without provisioning infrastructure. Let's understand the benefits of using function. What are the benefits? The first is avoid over allocation of infrastructure. As I said earlier, that we do not need to manage any infrastructure in that case. We have to focus on our code only and we just deployed it. Second is stateless logic. So function instances are created and destroyed. If state is required, we can store it in any storage service basically. It's event driven. So there are multiple event defined for the functions. You can choose any one of them and based on that trigger your function will be executed. Automatic scaling. That's the best part about functions here. If demands are high for the request of the function, it automatically scale up and down based on the requirement. And of course, you need not to manage any server. And Azure function gives us the opportunity to write your code in any language in which you're comfortable. So Node.js, C Sharp, JavaScript, there are lots of languages available and you can write your code in your own language and just deploy there. Apart from benefits, there are some drawbacks as well. So first is execution time. By default, functions have a timeout of 5 minutes. We can configure it up to 10 minutes, but if your function need more than 10 minutes, you have to create a virtual machine in Azure and deploy your function there. Also, you can use a different type of function if your execution time is more than 10 minutes. So you can use durable functions as well. Second is execution frequency is one of the drawback. So since I already told you it auto scale based on the demands, but there are only 200 total instances for every 10 seconds. If you have very high amount of requests coming to your function, then it's better to create the separate VM and host your functions there. So this is the another drawback. Let's create the function in portal now. First of all, to create the function, we need to create the function app first. So function app is basically the collection of functions, you can say. To create the function app, what is the prerequisite? We need to choose the service plan and one storage account. Why we need this storage account? Because all the log thing kept in there. So we need one storage account in that case. And we need to choose one service plan as well. So in portal, we have two kinds of plan, consumption plan and the app service plan. Consumption plan is name itself explains it's based on the consumption. Whatever time you consume your function, you will be charged on that basis. Consumption plan provides automatic scaling. The second plan is app service plan. So if you want to avoid the timeout periods by having your function run continuously on a VM that you define, you need to choose the app service plan. So let's see how to create function app in Azure portal. To create the function app, just type function app, click on add, choose your subscription, choose your resource, TechSense demo, your function name. Let's say TechSense function 1, runtime stack. As I told you, right, we can deploy our own choice of language. So we need to select the runtime stack. .NET, Node.js, Python, Java, PowerShell core. For me, it's Node.js as of now. The region you need to select, Southeast Asia. Click on hosting. I told you we need one storage account, so it's already created by default. So why we need the storage account? For the functions, all the logs will be stored there. The operating system Windows, consumption plan, I already told you about that. App service plan and consumption. As of now, I only need consumption plan. Monitoring, I would suggest you enable the application sites set to yes because it helps us to monitor the function triggers and everything. Click on tags, review and create. Now it is being created. Click on create. Deployment is in progress. Okay, so the function app has been created. Go to resource. To verify if it's been created successfully, just click on this URL, function app URL. It's a specific function app URL, so your function is up and running. So my function app has been created successfully. This is the way to verify it. Okay, now inside function app we can create multiple functions, but the runtime stack we define at the starting of creating function app. So all the functions which will be there will be based on Node.js only. We cannot create another language function in that particular function app. For that you need to create different function app by selecting different runtime stacks. So just click on functions. To create the function we have to click on functions, click on add. As you can see, before creating the function, we need to select the trigger because my function will be triggered based on some trigger only. So there are multiple triggers defined by the Azure like HTTP trigger, timer trigger, Azure queue storage trigger. So for example, blob storage, it starts a function when a new or updated blob is detected. Cosmos DB, when something insertion and updation is happening. Event grid, when an event is received from the event grid. HTTPS, if any HTTPS request is coming. Queue storage, when new item is received on the queue, like that. Timer, if you want to schedule on some basis. As of now, I will select HTTP trigger. My function name, let's say HTTP trigger 2. Authorization level, I will select it as function. If I make it as anonymous, then anyone can use my function. If I use an admin, then it's the highest level of privilege I am giving. As of now, I will give it authorization level as a function. Now click on create function. What is the meaning of authorization level as function? It means that whenever I'm executing the function outside of this portal, there will be a function key given by the Azure. So once I invoke the function, I need to mention the function key. But if I'm in portal, then it's okay. I need not to mention anything because I'm already authorized to do that. So my function has been created. I'll click here. Here in code plus test, I can do the coding and I can test as well. So this is the editor that Azure provides. This index.js, here my function, all the functionalities I can define here in index.js. If I want to see the bindings, then click on function.json. So it will give me all the like bindings are HTTP trigger, type is direction, type is this, the name is response, direction is out, type HTTP. So these are the bindings. If you want to see the binding, you can click on function.json and index.js. Here all of my logics will be written. So as you can see, what this function is doing, it's basically printing hello and the name, hello name. This HTTP trigger function executed successfully. What the parameter will come in the query, it will just print hello to it. So let's try to test it now since my function has been created already. If I want to test it in the Azure portal, I can simply click on test and run. Name is Azure. In body I'm printing, click on run. This is my log window. So see, hello Azure, this HTTP trigger function executed successfully. That's HTTP response code is 200. Okay, and this is the message that has been printed. This is the one way to test it. Okay, but we are in the portal, so we need not any authorization. But if we want to test it outside the portal, we can do it using curl command. For that, we need the function keys. How we can get the function keys? Click on there, function keys. There you can see the function key for you. So let me copy that. So I'm creating the curl command here. Here my function keys will go. This is the function key. What I am doing, it's a post command basically. So content type application JSON, function key is this, request post data. I'm passing this parameter. Okay, then I need to mention the Azure function URL. How we can get the function URL? Go to code and test, click on get function URL and copy that. So I need to copy this as well. So here I'm pasting the function URL. Yeah, so I'll my function name, and then I'll test this. So I'll copy this whole command. Curl has been installed already in my system. So what I'll do, I'll open the command prompt. So now what I will do, I'll paste this whole thing and click on enter. As you can see, hello Azure function, this HTTP trigger function executed successfully. So I got this message. So that is how you can create your function app, create your function, just write your logic, whatever you want to write, and you can test it inside the portal. Also, you can do it through curl command. So we created the function also. Now we created a very basic function wherein we were passing the parameter name and it was just printing the message. Now, whenever I'm calling this particular function outside the system, so if I say if it's between 0 to 25, it should be flagged as okay. If the temperature is between 26 to 15, it should be flagged as caution. If the temperature is above 50, it should be flagged as danger. So let's see how we can put this logic and how we can test this. I will go here. As I said earlier, all my logics will be written here in index.js. So I'll paste my logic here. This is the logic. The request is coming here, is checking. If it's less than 25, print OK. If it's less than 50, then caution. If it's more than 50, then it's danger. Okay, how we can test this now? Okay, so I mentioned this logic here, and then I'll click on test and run. This is my body. I provided 3 records, one with temperature 23, 45, 55. Click on run. It takes some time to execute it. See, what is the output? This flag is okay, caution, danger. So that is how you can write your logic and test it. This is the streaming log window. So you can see what's happening once I request the function. So everything is in there. If you want to monitor your function at, let's say, at what time the request came, what was the response in that case. So click on monitor and you can see all of the things that is happening. So as you can see, there are 4 requests and all have response of success. So this is how you can monitor your function request. Also, if you want to implement the logging system, you can go there, code and test. You can see there are the ways to log each and every step. How you can do that? See context.log. So that's the function defined by Azure is context.log. In at each step, wherever you want to log anything, you can just use this context.log and you can do the logging. So that's it about today's video. For any query, please write down in comment section. You can also email us at mytechsense@gmail.com or visit our websites techsenseconsulting.com.